Hi, you have heard me talk a lot, probably about Psych K and the work I do reprogramming people's subconscious limiting beliefs. It is such a powerful practice. Everybody can benefit from upgrading their operating software. And I have also found that so often moving forward isn't the issue, it's more about resolving the past. And while Psych K has some really powerful tools that I love to pull in as far as resolving past trauma and experiences that have shaped and molded the way that we show up in our lives, there's often some deeper rooted trauma. And when I say trauma, I don't necessarily mean a big traumatic experience. When I say trauma, I mean that it's simply our body's inability to process the big emotions that we felt when some event or experience was happening. And so, if we don't process emotions that we're feeling, we actually end up stuffing them and holding on to them, and they manifest in lots of different ways in our life. We might have back pain that's related to our dad leaving, or um, it's just it's wild the way that our physiology will actually store associated trauma. I was carrying some trauma of with my niece in my knees. Just really interesting, strange coincidences like this. Sometimes we'll store those emotions and they'll manifest as sickness or pain, but also times our emotions that we don't fully process will cause us to take on a protector. So it might be some sort of addictive habit. It might be a way of showing up, a way of being avoidant, and the way that benefits us by protecting us from having to face something that we weren't able or didn't have the capacity to face. And now we've taken on this habit, this cycle, or a protector energy. So I know a lot of times our comfort can come in the forms of drugs and alcohol. Um, I actually kind of consider those the easier addictions to break because we can go cold turkey. We can really identify that that's not something that we want in our lives, and we can cut off access, make plans, focus on moving forward, focus on new environments, new activities. It's hard. I'm not by any means diminishing that. That's still hard work. It's easier when you get to upgrade your subconscious and release emotions, but there's still things that we need to face in order to heal those kinds of habits. Um, Food addiction and disordered eating. So either binge eating or anorexia, bulimia, any sort of disordered relationship that you have or you may have with food can be really, it is, not can be, it is very difficult because you can't quit. You need to find a way to have a healthy and loving relationship with food, which is your nourishment. And so, when you have this energy and this guilt around doing the habit, but you need to do the habit in order to avoid the pain from whatever the situation that wasn't fully processed, and you're carrying the trauma, and the protector is to eat, and it makes you temporarily feel better in the moment, but then the shame and the guilt cycle continue, and that can be really difficult to break. And I just want to say first, I'm so sorry that you are struggling with this and this is something that you're having to navigate. And secondly, there's hope. There is hope because when we can release the trauma, we can identify and bring awareness and have a somatic sense of the feelings that we were unable to process earlier, previously. Um, we actually give ourselves permission to heal and to release these things that keep us in these cycles and keep us in these patterns of escapism and avoidance. Um, and so it's really a two-step process. It's releasing the past. It's acknowledging, feeling the emotions. If there was a protector involved, we thank them for doing their job and protecting us from um, being attractive. Um, and that's, people that often will binge eat are trying to protect themselves from men, for example. It's tough to get a lot of unwanted attention from men, and if that doesn't make you feel safe, Sometimes putting on some weight will help. Other times, on the flip side, you might be you might not be eating. You might not be indulging in food at all because you're so afraid of how that's going to make you look. Um, Either way, valid challenge. Either way, emotions need to be felt, released. Um, and then the programming that all of this pain and all of this suffering and all that you made it mean about you and yourself and how you relate to food in the world, uh, I can help you fix that. I can help you to transform that paradigm of food is harmful, food is bad for me, food is not my friend, it's my poison. It's really important to have a solid, firm, and loving relationship with food. It's your nourishment, it's what feeds your body, it's what keeps you alive. And it's challenging to overcome the disordered eating. It is completely possible once you feel it on a somatic level, you release it on a subconscious, and you reprogram yourself for success, to overcome this and to be able to eat healthy, fabulous food, love it, enjoy it, and just nourish your body so you can focus on other things in your life. Because I know the struggle is not something that we choose, but it is not our fault, but it is our responsibility to address whatever underlying issues are there. And I'm happy, always happy to help people unpack the hard stuff. Um, just be with them, witness them, and guide them through transforming, releasing, and coming out a much happier, healthier version of themselves. So, um, I don't even know where I'm going to post this. I think I'm going to put it on YouTube. Subscribe, follow, email me, innerlightclarity@gmail.com. Um, I'm running this business solo, so probably not the best funnel built around this video. So just call me, send me an email, and I'll talk to you then. Thanks.